We are incredibly busy getting ready for the onslaught of winter. We've had a nice long fall, but now winter is coming with a vengeance. We're going to talk through some things that we're doing because, ready or not, here comes winter. Hey Provident Preppers, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Kylene. We live in a beautiful place in Utah where there are 4 distinct seasons. And that means that winters are very cold. And it is important that we take steps that we need to prepare in advance so we don't have to suffer. Now, this winter especially, we are looking at a potential for some intense challenges all around us. So really, take some time and prepare. And these are just what we're doing to prepare this winter to make sure that we are safe and sound.
So number 1 on this list is heat and warmth, because I know somebody who doesn't like to be cold. We have firewood stock that's dry and split and seasoned. Also winter clothing and boots, warm blankets. Make sure your chimneys are clean and that your heating appliances are all ready to go. Changing the furnace filter is one of my things on my list, making sure that that is ready and that the entire heating system is up and running and functioning as it should. One of the important things is making sure that our roof is in good repair. So I'm up on the roof this afternoon after we finish this to make sure that everything looks good there and that we don't have any problems that are gonna hit us in the middle of winter. Also just checking for cold air entry spots. Any place that maybe we're getting a little breeze, seals around the doors, the door sweep, all these things get checked to make sure that we're gonna stay warm and dry.
See why we've been so busy lately? And number 2 is about food. We have been harvesting our garden and preserving it. So actually right now we're in a pretty good position because our shelves are stocked with the abundance that we have harvested from our garden, which is a beautiful blessing. We've gone through and we've inventoried and checked our food supply and made trips to the grocery store to make sure that anything that we're missing, we've stocked those, because with the winter, we don't know if we can get out and when we can get out. And we want to make sure that we've got plenty of food, including hot chocolate.
Yes.
Another thing that we've done is we don't grow all our own potatoes, but we purchase them from some friends. And so we've got our root cellar, our freezers. If you haven't seen that, you've got to check out the video. We have these buried freezers. They're broken freezers, right? They're just buried in the ground, and that's where we store our potatoes all winter long. We're going to be covering the beets that have been growing with bags of leaves so that we can harvest those all winter long. So that food prep has been a really big, intense thing lately, but pretty soon, we're just going to sit back and enjoy the bounties of our harvest.
Number 3 is vehicles. This is always kind of a treacherous time. Our winters are sometimes not too severe, but other times they are quite severe, and we have lots of days where we're driving on ice. How about the tires? Are they in good shape? Batteries, all these kinds of things. And let's not forget our emergency kits, making sure we have in our cars what we need if we get stranded somewhere, that we have coats and hats and gloves and what we need to stay warm and safe.
We did a really cool video with Nick Miller about what he feels should be in a roadside emergency kit. And if you click the card in the corner, it'll take you to that video. But yeah, he's really an amazing expert, and we can learn a lot when we listen to him. So number 4, our power outage preps. Now, of course, we already talked about heat because that is the most important thing to me. It's more important than chocolate. It is. But there are other power outage preps that are really important, like lighting and going through and making sure that the power banks, that we've charged them. Emily, my mother-in-law, we were just talking to her the other day, and she has to use hers, and then she's going to charge it back up with household power so that she's ready if there's a winter power outage.
And what about the animals? Let's not forget about our furry and sometimes not so furry friends. Make sure that we've got fresh straw out there. We've got places for them to be out of the weather. We always have to put out the little heating pedestals for the waters to sit on to make sure that they have that water that's thawed and ready for them to drink all winter long. So it's a bit of a process, but we get it done.
Yeah. And outside there are lots of preps that we need to do, like all the stuff that we lay around all spring and summer and fall. It's time for all of that to get put away now. Straw, the extra straw has been covered. One of the things we did this morning is our metal building that's out there, we went through with caulk and we had to seal all the bottom because today is the last good day that we would be able to do that, because right now it's still a little bit warm, but tomorrow it's going to be really cold. This is also the time of year when you'll notice that all the spiders and mice want to come inside. So we've had to be incredibly vigilant with that. And Jonathan has, I think okay, I hate the mouse traps that he uses. We have a whole video on all his mouse extermination procedures, but I think his new favorite has become the bucket trap.
Yeah, and that's worked really well for us. Again, check out the video. If you've got mouse problems, that's got to go away. You got to get ahead of that. Find a way to take care of that, because this is the time they're looking for places to get in out of the weather. Just like I'm just totally amazed at flies, spiders, mice. They all kind of know when things are happening, when the seasons are changing. They're ahead of the game, and they are trying to make their way in. So, and of course, the hoses, all the hoses need to get put away. The manifolds get put away. The sprinklers get drained. All these things are happening, and sometimes it seems like it happens all at once. And sometimes I get behind the curve, like we had our rainwater harvesting barrel that I was about 2 weeks late, and it was mostly frozen, which was a problem because once that thing's heavy and frozen and full, it's super heavy and super hard. Fortunately, we got it thawed out and the water out of it and got it put away, but right now is the time to get ahead of it.
So make sure you're cleaning your gutters. Talking about rainwater harvesting, now's a good time to make sure that there's nothing in there so that that water will drain appropriately. And we check for places where there is a potential of flooding. We've poured some new concrete this year, and so we've really got to watch that water and where it's pooling. We want it to be all in good places so that we can use it, so that it's watering something, and away from our house so we don't have any flooding.
And if we need heat tape anywhere, whether that's on plumbing or on gutters,
now's the time.
Get it done. And number 7, our friends and our neighbors and our family. Let's not forget about our community, making sure that everybody's ready to go. We've had to have some chats with our girls. They're off at school and they've got their cars, but we need to make sure that their tires are in good shape, that their batteries are in good shape, and that they're in a place where they can travel safely in the winter, and also that they have the clothes that they need and the blankets they need to make sure that if there's any problem, that they've got themselves covered, literally and figuratively.
And quite frankly, I know this is a lot of work to prepare for winter, but I love winter. Once that snow flies and it's just too cold to do anything outside, it's kind of this time to just snuggle up and change pace a little bit and just enjoy it. Sit down with a cup of hot cocoa in the warm fireplace. And there are a lot of good things about winter if we are ready for it. But if I'm cold and we're not ready for it,
things aren't good.
It's not good at all. So we invite you to join us in doing everything you can right now to get ready for winter so that you can sit back and just enjoy it.
So for the question of the day, what are you doing to prepare for winter? What steps are you taking? And share your ideas. Maybe there's some things that we can all benefit from. And thanks for being part of the solution.